See if this is actually live or not, or a fake start. Give it 30 seconds and we will find out. We're going to find out. All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals, but let me give you guys a bicep shot before we get started. Oh, my biceps. All right, a quick reminder for those of you who chime in after, please click like, please comment down below. Please follow me on my Facebook page also, which is linked in the description. Love if you guys would engage me there. But let's get over to the topic at hand while we let some people trickle in. This has been early evenings like this have been pretty good for views. You guys see how my physique's coming along. I've been getting a ton of compliments on both my platforms when I put up pictures lately, particularly just straight screenshots. A lot of positive comments, a lot of positive commentary. Like so much so that it's almost embarrassing to me because I'm not used to that many people online commenting on how I look in a positive manner. So clearly we're doing good, and especially when I've got multiple bodybuilding coaches who I know are like, damn, dude, what happened? But that's the thing. I'm getting all these props here, but all these people who talk smack for all these years, they're not saying anything, there were people who even 6 months ago, a year ago, were talking about I had a terrible physique when I was a power lifter. And now that I'm actually dieted down leaner, worked on biceps, worked on curls, a little bit different, obviously. And that's the thing, man. People don't like to give credit. And it's not like I'm bigger. I think people are forgetting that. I am not bigger by any means. I'm just leaner, and I've worked on my arms. Okay. All those years of powerlifting did make me bigger. It just left my biceps lagging, and I wasn't lean. So as I'm getting leaner and dieting down and doing curls, obviously I look like a different person. Mbuku, we'll get with that in a minute, but the answer to that is yes. Negan is absolutely my favorite character. Possibly one of my favorite characters in any show. The thing is, why aren't these people talking? Like, why aren't people going to tell all my detractors who talk smack about this? Have you seen him lately? Are you going to comment on him? Coming along. Like, I've seen compliments that were almost embarrassing. They're like, man, you're almost looking like an early Frank Zane. And I'm like, oh God, that's like excessively nice, but not true. But would I love to look like Frank Zane? Sure, Frank Zane looked great. I am working on a classic era physique. So for those curious what the goal is, I am looking at those classic physiques from the 50s and 60s and kind of using that as my blueprint. That's what I want to look like, those guys from the 60s. I think those physiques were optimal, maybe right up into the early 70s. So that's kind of the pattern I'm using of, hey, that's what I would like to look like. And so that's what I'm working towards. All right. So, but it's interesting, right? No one's really talking about it. All right. But yeah, no, I like Negan. Peppermint free. Let's get over to some of these comments now. Also, guys, where's them likes? All you guys are commenting, but you're not liking. Also, are you guys following my Facebook? It's linked down in the description. Please follow me there. It would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to peek over and look and see if I've picked up any new followers since I started this feed. Are y'all even clicking the follows? No, y'all are not. I ain't got one. Come on now. Come on. All right, well, let's get over to these comments. Peppermint says, caught another coach live. I'm grateful. Cool. If you got any questions, Peppermint, throw them up there, brother. Jerry says, hey, some guy mentioned you on C-SPAN. It's on YouTube. I found you from. Seriously? Somebody mentioned me on C-SPAN. Was it a positive or a negative thing, Jerry? I mean, was it bad publicity or good publicity? But I guess at the end of the day, as long as they say my name, I mean, I have literally over the years had 2 clients say, I came to your channel because people talk so much trash about you, and I was going to show up and make fun of you. And then I started watching your videos, and then I hired you to coach me. So I guess in a way, is there such a thing as bad publicity? All right. Umbuku says, because Negan's your favorite character, maybe you should end today's stream saying, I will shut that shit down. Possibly. All right. Jerry says, they asked how big you were down there. They were creepy. What, on C-SPAN? What? Yeah, that is creepy. I don't, again, I'm not planning on doing an OnlyFans or anything, so it's not like they're going to find out. I could. I had a client who she told me, you could do an OnlyFans, coach. You'd probably do pretty good. Peppermint says, coach, you ever thought about streaming to Twitter or X, or even do a Twitter Spaces to connect with fellow lifters? I don't know about that. Are those even monetized platforms? Like, am I going to get paid for that? Like, or they have creator partnerships like everyone else? So, you paid through Twitter Blue. I might have to research it. It just seems like a lot. I already have 2 major platforms already, and that's a lot, considering I coach as a business, as my main business on top of that. Maybe though, I'll think about it. I'm not going to dismiss it outright. Let's do it that way. All right. Denzel says, yo, good evening, coach. Good evening to you, Denzel. Beast Asian Man just gives a lull. He says, hi, chat. How you doing, Beast Asian Man? You're a regular these days. Saw you said you having some problem with a crazy girl online. That's, that happens, man. All right. Richard Fromage. Let's get over and get to your question. You guys aren't clicking like. There's a bunch of you watching and asking questions, but you're not clicking that like button. Let's go over to Richard. Speaking of good-looking physiques, athlete, exercise, bicycles, like baseballs, is that the kind of definition down to genetics? I hear jokes. Yes, implants or surgically. Bicep implants are a thing, right? That is a thing. Absolutely is a thing. Go talk to a plastic surgeon. Go look it up. Bicep augmentation is a real procedure, and it's more common than you think. Mbuku, I am never going to take, why would you ask me a hypothetical like that? If you ever took a break from lifting. I'm going to give you a Texas expression here. If a frog had wings, would he bust his ass a jumping? I'm sorry, it's a hopping. That would be my response. Let me introduce you to my culture. Would you ever quit lifting? There's a snowball has a better chance in hell than I do of quitting lifting. How's that? Omi says, what kind of content do men post on OnlyFans? The same sort women do. What you think? All right. They get paid to do the helicopter, I guess. Denzel says, Jason, is it necessary to wear extra tight sweatpants to have ladies look at the package? No, baggy sweatpants get it done. I mean, if you have anything that is visible, you shouldn't need tight sweatpants. You wear them baggy, man. Whom he says, ever thought of using Rumble platform seems to allow more freedom of speech. 2 answers. Number 1, I don't know what that is. Number 2, so what How does freedom of speech stop you from getting stalked and canceled and harassed? Let me ask you a question. If a platform allows you to say things that others don't, what stops people from downloading it and uploading it up other places and calling on people to hate you because you said something controversial? Like, how does it protect you from that? You see the problem? I already have enough stalkers. I don't need to find a platform that will allow me to be more controversial. Like, I'm not trying to be controversial. I don't need to be anymore. It's not even in my best interest to be controversial. All right. Jerry says, why would you want ladies to look at your package that's private? Why wouldn't you? You know, there's about 12 of you asking questions and nobody's liking. So I'm going to drink water until I see those lights go up. Back, I might go refill my water and just be back in 5 minutes and see if we get some likes. Okay. All right. Unfiltered Jason needs to make a comeback, bring you back to Grand Canyon. Dude, I'm not doing all the green screen and all that again. I don't want to be that unfiltered. Denzel says, you have a question. It might sound like, well, just, be careful with how trolly you go with it. Is it about my personal life? Because if it's about my personal life, I'm not going to discuss it. Omi says, that's fair, though I don't think YouTube does enough to deter creators from harassment. They don't. Angel says, when do you rest? I take naps and stuff, actually. Do you ever, Ando says, do you ever read this chat and think, how are people so stupid? Sometimes. Coach, thoughts on getting all your calories from RCB? I am not understanding the acronym. It's probably going to be something really common and I don't even realize it. I don't know what RCB is in this context. RXL says, have you ever seen Vegan Gains debate professional debater and political pundit Andrew Wilson, yet he gets quite humbled? No, I haven't. Richard, I don't understand your question. Did someone say that she was giving up on bikini? Because I am not aware of, as her coach, I am not aware of this. Do you know something that I don't? Like, do you know something her coach doesn't? Because I am not aware of any plan to give up on bikini. And I literally just talked to her today. So, the plan is to land where she lands. Like, as of right now, she's tentatively going to do bikini. But if she ends up being, because when I get done with her, she's going to be thicker, she may do a different division based upon how she fills out. But she's not giving up on bikini. All right. Notice says rice, chicken, beans. Yeah, that's fine. Rice, chicken, and beans are great. Peppermint says, Jason, I sometimes notice you have a strong Southern accent, but sometimes it's less pronounced. Do you find your accent can subconsciously change sometimes due to external factors? Well, yes, sir, I certainly do. Actually, I have a Texas accent, not really a true Southern. I can do Southern accent. But how can advance? So Marco says, how can advanced lifters tell whenever he saw since progress is very slow? When you get weaker. As an advanced lifter, when you get weaker, you know you're stalled. Denzel, I'm not going to discuss that. Yeah. I would rather not go into that backstory. That just did not work out. Jerry, the likes on some platforms do pay per, like YouTube does not, but it puts you into the algorithm. Engagements put you in the algorithm. Although, fuck it, I'm going to go get a glass of water. And if there's not 10 likes when I get back, we shut it down. All right, if there's not 3 more likes, we're going to shut it down. Let's get rid of this Jerry guy, though. Redmond says, do people who compete get a coaching discount? No. Why would they get a discount for that? We're not going to go through Michelle's weak links in a live stream. All right. Richard, no, that's not what we said in the latest vlog. We said we're going to let her land where she lands. We're going to maximize hypertrophy. We're going to get leaner, right? She's starting her cut now. She started her cut this week. So we're going to do over a 6-month-long cut. And wherever she ends up is where she's going to end up competing. We are aiming for bikini, but with her frame, she may end up doing physique. Does that make sense? But that may not even be the first show. We may do bikini, and then if she fills out further, we may do physique. Why is your strength entered for the bench at 315 instead of 300? That's 15 pounds, massive for a natty. Because it's 3 plates, that's why. Endo, because it's 3 plates. Dan says, what would be the reason to use sets of 2 to 3 reps so we can maximize strength with a max and a set of 10? Because of various fatigue and other stuff happening, right? And there is some strength carryover from the heavier, but again, if we're looking to maximize tension, okay, looking to maximize tension, there is something to be said for some of those more moderate reps. Okay. Bronson says Ice Cream Fitness is still a goated name for a program. It is. I don't even know how I came up with that back in the day, but I was just like, it's back when all the flexible dining was popular and the ice cream. I was like, they're all eating ice cream. They're talking about eating Ben and Jerry's every day. It's like Ice Cream Fitness. And I got it because they called Ian McCarthy, the Hodge twins called Ian McCarthy Pop-Tart Fitness. And then what popped in my head was Ice Cream Fitness. And then when I heard it, I'm like, Ice Cream Fitness. And I ran with it. You guys remember that? No, Schwinder like, man, Ian McCarthy, man, over here, Pop Talk Fitness, motherfucker. It was hilarious. All right. Dan says 6 month cut. She already looks lean. She is not contest lean, and she knows that. It's okay. Redmond, they should get a discount because they're successful. It makes. But Redmond, I've already coached lots of competitors. I've already coached state record holders. Okay. Why am I going to? I didn't give them discounts. The guy who you saw come in and hit a triple body weight squat went on to do a 680 squat raw with no wraps out of meat in the 220. He didn't get a discount. I didn't give him a discount. Why am I going to give other competitors a discount just because they compete? They're actually more work. Okay. Denzel says, tips for getting rid of constant pain in the arch of my foot from walking all day. I don't know that I have a solution for that. Maybe talk to a foot doctor. Talk to a podiatrist about that. Why does Coach Greg Adams say sarcovascular hypertrophy is not real muscle unless it's myofibular? Your statement doesn't follow. They're two completely different things. Meaning, it should be worded sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is not real hypertrophy because it's not myofibular hypertrophy. I mean, you could word it that way. Because it can't be. So you can't say unless it's myofibular because they're completely different things. It can't be. So therefore you can't say unless it is. All right. Yeah, Michelle, I mentioned all that in the vlog, Zimbuku. I discussed kind of why. There's a lot of reasons why she needs it. Are those moderate reps needed for athletes? I've just been doing conjugate with training maximum since the 10 plus. No, Dan, for certain athletes, it's perfectly fine. It depends on what you're trying to do with your lifts, what you're doing with stimulus to fatigue, what you're doing with conditioning, right? So if you're trying to ask if you're looking for a simple yes or no instead of a very context dependent for a specific person or a specific client, you're not going to get that from me. I don't distill things down like that. Ed96 says, Jason, how many years of training for someone looks like they lift? I mean, they should look like they lifted 6 months to the normal person. On the internet, you will not look like you lift until you've been running a gram of gear for at least 8 years straight. Minimal. All right. Marco says, is running too hard on the joints or other non-impact forms? Are the impact forms of cardio better for recovery? It depends on your gait. It depends on your total running volume. Okay, that is, again, not a straightforward question. Omi says it could be nice coaching advertising getting a client with a large fitness-oriented social media base, but do they have the base already? You know, I don't see anyone with 100,000 followers applying. The only one who did was Joe Fazer. I did coach him for 6 months many years ago. I got his deadlift to 4 plates. All right, and then he blew up later on. But he basically dropped out. He's a good kid. I have no ill will towards Joe in any way. He basically kind of said my programming was a little too intense for him. He couldn't commit to it because I was pushing people hard. I was pushing him hard. I mean, he told me he wanted to be great. All right. I would never program pre-exhaustion, Zachary. Limitless says I talk about your physique coach, but not as a critical, but as a critic. I appreciate that. Coach, do you ever have just a fun cheat day and order a big bag at McDonald's once in a while? Why would I waste a cheat day on McDonald's? Ed says, is 9 sets of heavy bench press a week spread over 3 sessions too much? For more advanced lifter, probably. You're going to eventually break from that. Is there any truth when people say lifting aids you because it's technically a stress and stress makes you? No. All right. What would you say are the main benefits of speed work, and what types of athletes would benefit most from incorporating it? Well, the main benefits of speed work are higher rates of force production. And athletes who can benefit most from it are athletes who need speed, strength, or explosive power in their sport. Example, a boxer. Okay. Before people tell me boxers need all sorts of things, yes, obviously, but they do need to be fast. That is one of the many attributes that a boxer has to have. Peppermint Freedom says, Coach, how do I find your Facebook account? It is literally in the description box of this live in the top line, and it's in the description box in the second line of every video on my channel. It's also on the About tab of my channel. There's a link to it. Dan Stilton says, does hypertrophy specific benefit athletes? I've been told to avoid hypertrophy or BJJ and to maximize strength and body weight. Get leaner. Yeah, you shouldn't avoid hypertrophy. Just get leaner. Limitless Will, as a gamer, do you think lifting running is advantageous to prevent leg pain? Possibly, yeah. Buku, it could have been, but yeah, his appetite was a problem. Like Joe did struggle to eat. He struggled to get the food in that he needed. Well, let's transfer over to pull-up strength, lat pull downs, rows. Bob says, how do you tell the difference between a woman that's checking you out or just looking your way? Her body language, how she looks at you. I mean, here's the thing, Bob. Men have a bad habit of assuming women are into them when they aren't. So let me give you a bit of frank advice. If you're not certain, then assume she's not, because women get tired of that all the time. Endo plug, should your bench press weight X reps be the same as your row to know if you're balanced? I used to say that, but because rows vary so much in our form and strictness and style, I just don't hold it. I used to say that for pen leg rows, right? And I actually had them pretty balanced at one time myself. But, the longer I assess that, I don't know that that's really the case. I don't think we can truly make a case for that. Tyrone says, yeah, we saw your comment in the thing about that. Would you ever chat with Michelle on the channel? Yeah, possibly put her up on camera. I don't know that she'd be super comfortable with that right now. Like actually having to do a conversation on camera that's going up, But I mean, it's something to think about in the future. Sam K, would you give your opinion on nicotine? Is it dead? Yeah, dude, smoking is terrible for your health. I am extremely anti-tobacco. Joe Fazer has recently lost a lot of size. Greg has made numerous videos making fun of him, even though he's clearly struggling mentally. So why is Greg making fun of Joe Fazer? And why does Greg feel the need to be a bully? Bob, do you really have to post some stuff like that about your cousin? Oh my gosh. Bob. Bob is a troll, but he's been a non-harmful troll so far. But Bob, can we bring the trolling down a notch, man? Come on. We don't need all that. Sam says, what about tobacco? Like, what in the hell are you talking about? Like, why? Tobacco-free pouches. Like, what is that? Like, why is this a thing? So because you see people doing a tobacco product and you think it was really cool when you were 11 years old, you want to then try a non-tobacco version of it that I'm not getting my head around this. Like, why would you take a drug that doesn't make you better at sports? I mean, or enhance your life in some way. I don't even understand the concept. Does it make you more intelligent? Does it make you stronger? I mean, does it make your dick hard? Like what are you taking this for? I just don't understand the concept. It's like, I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I'm a non-drinker who doesn't smoke weed and hates tobacco, and probably the worst person in the world you could ask this to. I'm just going to think it's a strange question. Pure nicotine salts, it's amazing. You know what else is amazing for weight loss? This drug called diet cardio. Yeah, Sam, I get it. It's just, I'm definitely the wrong person to ask. Like, I don't even understand what this is. And the same thing, people over here talking about fat burners. I mean, I am not using any fat burners. I've been getting leaner. I got all these veins. I am literally not using any fat burners, whether pharmaceutical or otherwise. Well, peppermint, are you sure that it's helped Jamie Lewis? You positive of that? I don't know that I would necessarily agree that it's helped Jamie. I'll just leave that at that. I'm not trying to talk smack in any way. I'm just saying I don't know that it has actually helped Jamie. He feels that it has, and I mean that's his purview. All right. Woman Respecter says, Mr. Blaha, do you take creatine? Sometimes. I have a whole big tub of it I haven't been taking. I should probably rotate it back in, honestly. But I haven't been using creatine lately. I mean, I think it's okay, and I think it may have some health benefits, but I'm not anti-creatine. It's one of the supplements that does work a little bit. I just haven't been bothering. I haven't really been bothering to take many supplements because my diet is, you guys see the food I post up on social media. I mean, you see what my meals look like. My diet is just really well balanced at this point. And I think really the only supplement I've been using probably for the last month is just whey protein. I haven't even taken vitamins lately, anything, because I have a really well balanced diet at the moment. What do you season your food? You see what I season my food with? Either mustard or picante sauce, right? Do you still think Ice Cream Fitness program is optimal for? I think it can work great for beginners. Sam K, I'm going to go with what the research shows. At normal doses, fish oil is worthless. At therapeutic level doses, which if you're going to take normal strength, we're talking, like 10 caps a day. If you're taking the extra strength, like 3 of them. So when you start exceeding 2 total grams of EPA and DHA, there can be some potential health benefits for some demographics. That is definitely in the literature. But at the normal over-the-counter recommended doses, the research is showing zero, nada, nothing. Yeah, the podcast was good. And again, I'm not going to trash talk. So I'm going to be super chill. Okay. I'm going to be super chill and just simply say that Jamie and I are not talking. But I am definitely cool with Lewis and CJ, the deadlift dad. See, Limitless, this is why we can't have those cultural discussions. I know nothing about your country, and don't even know what picante sauce is. How can we even talk about food? Like, see what I mean? We can't have a food conversation because we are so both ignorant of each other's cultures. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's unfathomable that a person does not know what picante sauce is, or also known as salsa would be, I guess, the term. Any podcast you listen to regularly? I haven't listened to any regularly in a while, to be fair. So I don't have anything on the current list. Mbuku says, "Will you ever visit Africa?" The odds of me visiting Africa are probably 1,000,000,000 to 1. Why did chickpea pasta? Because of the high protein content, the high fiber content. It's just all around baller on the macros, right? It's hard to beat. It is hard to beat. So I was checking my messages. What's your opinion on seeded bread? I mean, I suppose it's all right. A lot of people struggle with bread just because of the appetite side. It just is what it is. But I don't think bread is unhealthy, and I think seeded breads with extra seeds can be great. As long as you're not prone to overeating it. Would you do a podcast with the Mr. Mac? Oh my God, dude! You guys don't understand. I love Rick. Rick is cool as hell. All right, Rick's cool as hell. Super cool. Super fucking cool. His mouth would get us shut down. Okay. Because he says stuff and he has no filter. I mean, let me just put it into context. He mentioned we got a DEXA scan together. We both, that first DEXA scan, he and I rode up there and we did DEXA scan together, right? So he was with me for that first one, and he did one also. Okay. The tech there, who was a dietitian, and she happened to be of a specific ethnicity, and he just flat out told her while we're sitting there, I like black girls, right? What's up? You want me to pour some hot sauce on your feet and lick it off? Okay. And he's like that 24/7. There's no off switch. No, it didn't work. She was married. But she laughed. I mean, she was laughing. And she even goes, "You need to put him on your channel." And, but I'm like, I can't put him on my channel. She also agreed with. No, she was laughing. But I mean, and that's the problem. I mean, Rick is cool. Dude's super cool. But you guys see how just in general, when he's like that all the time, put him on the channel, man. We're going to get so many strikes. So again, imagine when Jason Unfiltered back in the day, take it up about 2 notches higher. And he just busts out, it's just nonstop. Like, you do not know what's going to come out of his mouth. And therein lay the problem. So you guys saw him in here admitting some of that in the chat when he was in here the other day. No, but I mean, he's fun. Dude's fun as hell to hang out with. Tyrone, I think the one guy asking me to go to Africa is from Africa. Either he's a troll or he really is. I mean, I have followers all over the world, so he very well could be the real deal. People always want me to go to their countries all the time. No, I'm not going to reach out to Brittany. There are exes I have who I'm on good terms with, and there are exes that I'm not. I just have no desire. That's not someone I want in my life in any way. No. All right, Matt, one of my work warriors, tips on getting freaky traps, juice, upright rows, deadlifts, and shrug. Yeah, I mean, that should do it. Why wouldn't it do it? All right, stem traps, I recognize your picture. You were really leaning out. Well, congratulations. I appreciate it, brother. We are coming along day by day. Right. So much so that I've had people who are like, you're using a bunch of trend. I'm like, dude, I almost should. Because I'm not. That's what's funny. I'm not using any fat burners, no trend. I don't know what would happen if I did. Peppermint. I am not going to be a dick and say that goofball name, so you need to retype your entire question with his correct name, that when he became an adult male and not a gym cell, he changed to a better name. And I'm not going to be disrespectful and use that old name. So please type out his correct name with your question again, and that kind of thing. All right. Jason, I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and live in Florida. So why are you asking me to go to Africa if you don't even live there? I worked with a guy from Nigeria, though. His name was Gideon Nabuki. I used to work with him, shared an office with him. Dude was funny. I'm going to imitate him. He loved me, by the way, and it was because he's like, Mr. Jason, I love you because you're the only person who tries to say my name correctly. That's how he used to do it. All right. Bob says, see, Bob, you ask questions like that. That's weird. What job was that? Well, what job do you think it was? What industry do you think it was in? I mean, if you claim to know about my history, what industry was it in? But the benefits you get from being a North Warrior, you get a symbol by your name, and you show your love and support for my channel. Redmond says, going to different countries and doing seminars would be great for you. Yeah, but I don't want to travel. Honestly, dude, I just don't want to travel anymore. Going to different, let's see. Sorry, coach, his new name takes. Yeah, give it out. No, I'm not going to do any stuff today. Little says, do you sleep better when you're leaner? I slept better when I was halfway between where I am now and when I was at my heaviest. I can't say it's improved at all in the last 20 pounds. Alex says, my internet just dropped. God dang it. Internet just dropped. Hopefully it comes back up. There it goes. It just came back on. Did you guys lose me? If someone will type a question, let me see if we are fully connected. Because my timer's still running. Okay. I just saw my router just turned off and back on. No, are we good? I see everyone posting stream ended. Okay. All right, let's see if we're still good. I hope we're good. Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna wait for this to catch up. I see you guys all posting. Okay. Jason, if all your clients were put in a gladiator arena, who would come out on top? I can't say his name because he does not want to be public. But let's just be realistic. I have a regular client who actually has a powerlifting meet in 3 weeks, another powerlifting meet. Okay, powerlifter. Retired Marine Corps infantry officer, current field agent for a federal law enforcement agency who kicks in doors. I'm going to go with him. Eli Cohen, let's come over to you. Appreciate the donation, brother. BJJ 3 times a week, full body 3 times a week, same day. Okay. Bench squat, overhead press, bent over rows, HS curls with pull-ups, dumbbell curls, calf raises, neck bridges, first 1 set. Still having recovery issues. Any advice? I almost feel like that's consultation level. How long are you rolling every day? Maybe squatting 3 times a week, even if it's 1 set, is just too much. You might want to just squat once a week, even if the volume is the same at the end of, say, your training. So let's say you do all this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe only squat on Friday. Might be my advice. Okay. Well, Bob, you wouldn't have an office at Lowe's if you were a floor salesman. It was obviously in the natural gas industry. All right. Because I didn't always do field work. I eventually was a supervisor of a warehouse at Central headquarters, which had, I believe, at any given time, $12 million in inventory. All right. All right. Helena says, nice to see you in a stream. Good to see you back again. Coach, another demise prediction has come to pass. Dude, this is sad that all these guys are dropping, honestly. All right. Morgan Pound says, Jason, if you had access to a cable system, would you use it over any of the barbell dumbbell movements? The only thing I might do cable press downs, like tricep press downs, right? Jason, how many times a year should we test our 1 rep max? How often do you feel like, as long as you're programmed around the recovery of it? Peppermint Freedom says, have you ever had family members, loved ones of clients who try to interfere with their training diet? Yeah, that's got to be shut down. You got to shut that shit down like Negan. It's just that simple. Long Live says, I think this is the leanest I've ever seen you. This is the leanest I've ever been on YouTube. Yeah. Yep. See no bicep veins. I'm just sitting here with no pump, just chilling, right? Chet Lambert says, thoughts on almost exclusively pull-up deadlifts and drugs for your back. I think that could work fine. Right. All right, let's get over to Endo's question. Endo Plug says, is it super unhealthy to have 5 beers every Saturday? Could this be, it'd be considered moderation, but it's definitely unhealthy. It's definitely unhealthy. You know, if you're asking, look, you just donated money to me, okay? I have all the reason in the world to have your best interest in heart at this moment. It is not super healthy for you to do that. I'm not telling you it's going to be lethal to do it once a week, but it's definitely not healthy, right? All right, let's hop over to Peppermint's thing up here. Were you aware that Alexander Leonidas has been vegan for the last year at least? What are your thoughts on more and more fitness YouTubers? I don't have a problem with them becoming vegan. I think plant-based diets can work fine as long as you're taking an intelligent approach. If you take an intelligent approach, whole foods approach to it, and make sure your protein is high enough, I don't have a problem with anyone doing that. If they want to do it for health reasons, ethical reasons, like, it doesn't bother me. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm all for it, but I'm not against it either. Morgan Powell says, also normally watch on the phone, but now on my TV, holy moly, looking so lean. Not sure if you mentioned it, but current weight, I'm hovering between 204 and 205 this week while eating carbs. Last time I was eating carbs, I was 210, and then I dropped carbs down and I added them back in, and I've kind of been at this weight. I'm going to get down under 200. Chuck Basher and Sam Saluk are walking that thin line where everyone's might be next on the deck for a demise. No, dude, Chucky will be before them. What does your monthly coaching include? It includes whatever you need, Redmond. I mean, I'm going to straight up call it. Yes, the official service is your training programming, weekly training programming, form check, programming, all of that. Not official, but I end up doing a lot of nutrition advisement, help with mindset, discussing psychology, managing stress management, things, fatigue management, advice on helping with binge eating, advice on helping people who can't eat enough while still who want to eat clean. My enhanced lifters, yes, we discussed that in detail. I look at people's blood. In my enhanced guys, I look at their blood work. My guys on TRT, I look at their blood work. Okay. Chad says, Jason, every time I take a shot of whiskey before my lifts, I tend to lift heavier with a much happier mindset. So in moderation, it seems like I'm still not going to support it. The guy says bicep veins, right? And again, not like we're sitting here doing curls, but it was bicep day this morning. You guys saw the footage. You saw all the stuff up. You see the thumbnail. I'm shooting for that classic bodybuilder physique. And people notice in real life. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, no one thinks I'm bigger. Like, because that's the funny thing. On the internet, people are like, you're getting more, Jack. I'm like, guys, I am smaller. No one thinks I got bigger in person, but everyone's like, dude, you got more veins, your face, your waist. It's like, so that's more of the response. And I've even heard the term aesthetic. Emmett says, I don't see what Bob retracted down there. Did anybody catch that? Emmett says, I think a lot of people would rather die at 50, be an absolute beast, winning major global competition sponsorships, et cetera, than living to 80, having accomplished little to nothing. I suppose there are people who feel that way. As a client, is it possible to not be shown on your videos? Limitless. I have clients who specifically request that. Limitless, let me be clear. I do not show videos of clients without permission. Okay. Jason, were you known as a bit of heavyweight back in drinking days? Meaning, could I drink a lot, or did I have a high tolerance? I have a very low tolerance. I could handle a lot, and I metabolize it fast, but I was one of those people who are literally intoxicated off 2 to 3 drinks, like slurring, everything. Like, it's just drunk. No, Chad, I don't recommend you drink before. There are going to be problems with whiskey dick and all that. Coach is a strength and powerlifting specialist. What would you advise people come to you if they consult if they're more concerned? Amit, I coach physique competitors and aesthetics people too. Do you not actually follow my channel? Okay. Are you going with the advice you mentioned in a recent video, chasing maximum muscle growth rather than chasing specific proportions and just potentially? Absolutely. The only exception is if you historically undertrained a muscle. Like in my case, I undertrained biceps. Therefore, I am doing a little more for them now. But no, I don't think you should address imbalances to that degree. Just get as big as you can, even if you're going to compete in physique type stuff and land in the appropriate division based on your genetics, and just get big. Just get big. Gain muscle everywhere. Build your calves, your forearms, everything. Everything. Tammy Samurai, does your rear end make mac and cheese sounds? What? I don't know why people got this obsession with mac and cheese, right? People always say, you know, they're like, if you make mac and cheese right, it sounds like sex. Okay. I have never once had macaroni and cheese ask me to choke it harder and spit in its mouth. Not once. All right. You said you made a lot of videos you were drunk. Well, true. I didn't slur, but I was definitely under the influence. Chad, yeah, he's not going to make it 5. Bob says, I can't talk to women without alcohol. I just stutter and stammer. Why? Let me look. A mark between my eyebrows. What the hell are you talking about? Just a shadow. It is well known. No, it's not, Tammy. You've never heard that from anybody who knew me. All right. So bye-bye. Amit, you mean Cali Muscle had the doctor tell him on camera to quit doing what he was doing? It was stupid, it's dangerous, and he kept doing it anyways? Those doctors? I appreciate your donation over here, brother. I forget your real name because I know you've posted under it before, so we'll call you Stem Traps. I appreciate that. It says you don't have to drink to have a good time. I concur. I concur. Absolutely. Facts. Absolute facts. Oh man, we are about at an hour, aren't we? I guess it's time to wind this down. So we're going to wind it down. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time. And let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Bicep.